A father scattered preservatives at the edge of a steep cliff, praying that his son's body would not be disturbed by scavenging birds. However, shortly after he left, a starving vulture, which hadn't eaten for 3 days, swooped down, eager to feast on the still warm boy. Just as the vulture was about to succeed, the boy miraculously woke up and twisted the bird's neck. He cried out for help with all his strength, but the tribe was long gone. Covered in wounds, he stared at the bottom of the valley and summoned an unshakable courage, beginning to climb the cliff. After just a few steps, his fingers gave way, leaving him hanging in midair, trapped between advancing and retreating. To make matters worse, storm clouds gathered and rain poured down like a waterfall. But his perseverance was extraordinary. He clung to the cliff for 8 hours straight through the storm. When he looked down again, the water level had risen alarmingly, and he made a bold decision. The next day, the boy woke up in the mud, one leg no longer functional. He crawled to a puddle, drank the ancient rainwater, and even found a worm to eat. After that, he took off his boot and found that his foot was severely damaged. Using 2 rocks, he bit down and snapped the bone himself, then fixed his ankle with sticks, making a crude splint. He then set off, eventually reaching the top of the cliff and discovering the gravestone his father had placed for him. His father, the tribe's leader, had stayed calling his name all night after the fall, but had to leave for the sake of the tribe's women and children. The boy lay helpless on the ground and soon heard a wolf howl. Looking up, he saw a pack of wolves approaching. He limped in the opposite direction, but the wolves didn't leave. They howled at the moon, a scene both beautiful and dangerous. The next day, the wolves left, leaving behind an injured grey wolf. The boy made a spear using a knife and stick and prepared to kill the wolf. But the wolf whimpered in fear. Seeing its pitiful eyes reminded him of his own abandonment, and he couldn't bring himself to do it. He tied its mouth and brought it to a river to clean its wounds. Later, he found a hidden cave and passed out from exhaustion. When he awoke, the wolf had freed itself and was staring at him, but the boy calmly offered it water. Realizing the boy meant no harm, the wolf drank. The boy also found some unknown bugs, and despite his own hunger, shared them with the wolf. The next day, he hunted and caught his first rabbit, made fire using friction, and finally tasted roasted meat. The smell drove the wolf wild with hunger, and the boy told it to behave if it wanted some. The wolf obeyed like a dog, and the boy gave him a bone. He named the wolf Alpha. When he tried to return to the tribe, Alpha refused to leave. Despite many attempts to chase it off, Alpha stayed by his side. Eventually, they traveled together, hunting and keeping warm by cuddling. Alpha would even wake him up each morning. Their bond deepened with time. One day, they encountered wild boars. Alpha bravely charged, but the boy was knocked aside. From then on, they worked together while hunting. Alpha proved to be a wolf king, easily taking down prey. But when he tried to eat first, the boy refused. On a cold night, Alpha tried to sleep next to the boy, but was rejected. Later, Alpha sneaked over to him while he slept. In the morning, Alpha woke him in a unique way, but he reeked. The boy took him to the river for his first bath, where Alpha excitedly splashed and caught a fish for the boy. On the road, the boy whistled to tease Alpha, making him think he had food. They traveled happily, and the boy learned survival skills from Alpha. Winter came, and they became a skilled hunting duo. One night, a fierce wolf appeared. Alpha bravely approached and somehow licked the leader into submission. The next day, Alpha looked at Coda, the boy, indicating he wanted to return to his pack. Coda said goodbye, and Alpha disappeared into the night. Alone again, Coda missed Alpha deeply. One day, he thought he saw Alpha's shadow and chased after it. But the ice cracked, and he fell into a freezing river. Just as he was about to be swept away, Alpha appeared and broke the ice with a knife, pulling him out. Shivering, Coda started a fire, dried his clothes, and hugged Alpha for warmth. Coda soon became seriously ill, but Alpha stayed by his side through the storm. They finally saw another human, but he had frozen to death. All they found was a bow and arrow. As they moved on, they were caught in an avalanche and ran into a cave where a massive bear awaited them. Alpha fought bravely but was no match. Coda shot the bear with an arrow, saving them, but Alpha was badly injured. Coda treated his wounds and kept him warm. They pressed on despite their injuries until Coda saw a tribal marker beneath the snow. Realizing home was near, they pushed forward in the storm. Eventually, Alpha collapsed. Coda promised not to abandon him and carried him forward. Finally, Coda collapsed too, but a vision of his parents gave him strength. Carrying Alpha, he reached the tribe, collapsed in his father's arms and asked him to save Alpha. When he woke up, Alpha was beside him, having given birth to a litter of wolf pups. Alpha had been pregnant the whole time, still risking her life to protect Coda. With care, both recovered and Alpha's pups grew up. From then on, every tribesman took a wolf when hunting. Thus, the world's first dog was born, and they called them wolf dogs.